Okay, so we're going to make that little thing over there. Let's bring our gem in. I'm going to import gem.
Yes.
There's the gem gone. STL. Alright, I'm happy with where that is. I'm going to put it on up there, and I'm going to move it up there till nearly touching, and I'm going to get a circle that's surrounding it. So I'm going to draw a circle.
Yeah.
Oops, not from 0. I'm going to draw a circle from that vertex out here, and I'm going to make the one that's touching the gem. So I'm holding Shift and Alt so I don't snap to anything.
Yes.
And I'm going to go a little bit inside the gem.
Yes.
And I'm going to make another one a little bit outside the gem. Oops.
Yes.
I need to get the tip of the gem. There we go. And then come out this way a little bit. So I want to be a little bit thicker than the gem over there.
Yes.
These two we're going to do an extrusion. So I
Yes.
just bring it down a little bit there and then extrude upwards. In one direction. Not both sides, only one. Yep, something like that.
Yes.
Alright, so you got your first bezel.
Yes.
Alright, so now we're going to chamfer the bezel. So we're going to chamfer edge.
Chamfer
I think
edge.
that's about 0.25, looks like. Add it, nah, a little bit more. So Control Z. Alright. Control Z and chamfer edge again, 0.5, I think. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
We're going to take those, we're going to go array polar around
Yeah.
0 and 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the 3 bezels. Now you need
Yes.
to cut away this part that comes towards the
Cut.
inside and put a
Yes.
bezel in there. So we can draw a line upwards
Yeah.
from 0. It's going to come through here. It's going to become the prong.
Yes. And pi.
Right. Let's make it round. I don't know. Maybe I'm pressing Alt so I don't snap onto anything. And it has to cover the 3 stones. You see there's the stone girdle. So
Yes.
coming over the stone girdle a little bit like that.
Here, stone girdle.
Yeah. All right. And then same thing. Press Enter twice.
Yes.
So we've got that center prong.
Yes.
So now we've got to cut away this in-between section over here.
Yes.
Super duper easy. So just take your exact same extrusion you had here, Control C, Control V,
Yes.
move it up a little bit. We don't want to cut all the way through.
Yes.
Scale it bigger to about there. Cut away to about that distance. So grab this one
Yeah.
and this one, this one,
Yes.
Boolean union.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Boolean difference with this one.
But the bottom doesn't have. Oh, because we moved it. Oh.
I didn't.
Oh, I
I've got to
get
move
it.
that
If
further
I
up.
move
Gotta
further
move that
up.
Further up, yeah. So it's
Oh,
so
okay.
there,
Yeah. Okay,
about
I
there
get
somewhere.
it.
Right, so take that and then Boolean difference with this.
Okay. I'm nearly there, but I don't know how to make the top yes and bottom no. Oh,
So
makes
fillet
sense.
edge.
Yes.
What do we got there? 0.3, I think. So this one
Yeah.
for your prong.
Comments.
And you're done. If you really need to, you can
Okay.
chamfer this edge outwards for seating the stone. But what'll happen is once the setter comes in here, you're gonna
Yes.
you'll not have an issue. So let's grab, where's the original curve? Still in there somewhere. There it is. Let's extrude that again. Upwards. Pull it upwards. Oopsie. Bring that upwards. Then you can chamfer the bottom edge.
Yes.
Like that. And
Yes.
you can bring it back down to make our cutter for where the stone's going to sit, and just scale it out proportionately. So we're going to cut out, I don't know, somewhere like that. Something like that.
Yes.
Are we good? And then array polar. I could have just done chamfer edge over here, so it doesn't really matter. Did I say 0? How many? 3, right? Yeah. Right, so then again, Boolean difference, BD, with those 3.
Yes.
Then, oh, it didn't even Boolean difference then. No, Boolean difference failed. Control Z.
I think because we didn't choose the subject.
Control Z. Undoing Boolean difference. There's a Boolean. It's not touching. Okay, so then you, Boolean difference with you and you and you. It didn't say that it failed, but it also, oh, it did cut. There we go. I just didn't have it down low enough. My bad. All right, so bring it down, lower, 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 like that. All right, then you, boolean difference with you. Okay, so then you've got that nice sharp inside corner, makes it looks like it's set. I didn't use chamfer edge because for sure if I try to use chamfer edge over here, this is going to fail. Right, so if you put that in a rendered viewport, you've got what you're looking for.
All right.
All right,
Got it.
so this is a quick one. You can put a pin on the bottom of it and you've got an earring. All right.
Yes, thank you. That's
Anyway, so I'm gonna dump that. Let's go back to Google. Let's do this one. All right, so how are we going to do this one? I just Googled 4-stone ring, and then I was actually looking for something like this, but then I think that this is probably a more interesting lesson because the last one was really fast, so let's open that up.
Yes.
Okay, let's grab the image onto our desktop. How am I going to get it into Rhino?
Picture.
Right. Where's it gone? Desktop, desktop, desktop. There it is there. So let's put that out there. All right, so let's assume we got a middle of the ring size N, so we're going to start with the finger size. You can't do anything if you don't know the finger size.
Yes. 16.8.
Okay, that's just because it's the middle of the ring stick.
Yes.
All right, then let's have a look at, we got a couple of different size gems, so we can't start this job unless we know what the size of the gems are. So I'm going to pull in our gem.
Yes.
Import our STL, so this will go over here.
Yes.
I'm going to put it over there, and I'm going to say that probably, let's say this one is the right size. I'm going to go Control C and Control V, and I'm going to make another one, and Control V, and I'll make another one, and Control V, and I'm going to make another one. But of course, in the real world, the customer would give us a brief, and we'd know what the size of these gems are.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to scale these all a bit smaller, then I'll scale those two a bit smaller, and then I'll scale this last one a bit smaller. So we've kind of got this journey thing going on over here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's pull those gems over.
Yes.
And all right, so how would we draw this ring?
Okay.
If it was
so
you
we
doing
draw
it?
the shank first, and then cut the top, split the top, and delete it, and draw a. I can't draw a curve. I can still draw a curve.
Okay, I see two potential ways to do this. I see curve from Crv2View, or I see probably better is just flow. I would just draw this with the flow. All right. So I'm going to go. I'm going to use both methods. I'm going to start with flow. So I need the length of that curve. So
Yes.
Length. I got 52.799. So I'll copy that. I'm going to draw a new line from here. Doesn't matter where. Shift tab and Control V to put the length in. So now I have a line.
Yes.
That's as long as my circle is.
Yes.
Let's move my stones to the line. Something like that. And then let's work in this view. Those stones are actually a little bit big. They're not going to make this ring. They might do. Maybe if we put them closer. All right, so let's start laying out our stones. So let's move the stones off a little bit and let's have a look at our design. You've got this thing that comes around.
Yes.
Goes around the stones, then comes around the shank. So I want a curve. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with a circle. All right. At about the midpoint, we've got a small circle, which is that stone there. So roughly that stone there.
Yes.
Okay, this stone here. So I'm talking about this one. Seems to be about the middle of the ring.
Yes.
Right. So that's about the middle of the ring over there. So that's about where that gem's going to be.
Yes.
All right. So I want that curve, and I need to make it a little bit bigger. And we also know that it's kind of traveling a little bit off center, but for now, let's just get the stone layout right.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to take the next stone, comes up here, and there's a little bit of metal between them, something like that.
Yes.
Then the stone is down. It's not much down, just a little bit. So that stone is kind of over center, then this one's a little bit down, and then this one would be a little bit up in that direction, and this one would be a little bit down in this direction, or something like that. Something like that, I believe. All right, so now are we kind of centered over the ring? I think not. I'm going to do that kind of like that. All right, so I need a couple of circles now. Okay, so I need a circle from, I want circle. Wow, circle, can't type.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to go from there to about, I'm using Alt and I'm using Shift to
Alt
lock
and
it.
Shift.
And I want to go just a little bit inside.
Yes.
Right, then I want to do the same thing over here.
Yes.
From that point, using Alt and Shift and just a little bit on the inside. It's going to distort when we flow it, so not too important, but let's just, to get a starting point, I think we're there, all right? Something like that.
Yes.
I feel like this one is wrong. I feel like, oh, it is actually a little bit off center. There's center, and this one is below. There's center, this one's below. Okay, so I think we're good there. All right, so let's take the gems, you guys. Let's create a new layer. Gems, let's grab the gems, you, and you, and you, and you, and let's put them on there. Change object layer and turn it off for now, it's in my way. All right, so then we know we've got a curve coming through here. So I want to take this one, I want to Control C and Control V.
Yes.
And then I want to lock one copy, right? So I can delete that copy. This copy, I can't write on. So we're going to take a curve, an interp curve. I'm going to start from the end of this. I'm going to hold Shift because we want the shank to be straight in the beginning. Okay, how does this come? It comes around and then it goes over, it comes around. So it comes around to this side first of all. So I'm going to come up to about here. All right, then I'll make another curve. This one comes up to the middle, so this is an easy curve. All right, so this just comes like something like this to there. All right, then I need to split the circle about here. We need to come around and we need to join these two circles here. So this circle splits. So let's start splitting. Let's split this circle. If you haven't got a curve you can split with, you can select a point, which is just at your mouse point. All right, so we want to split this. About the top third of the stone is covered, and then the same there. All right, so about the top third. I'm going to switch off that center O snap. It's driving me mad. Let's put the mid back on. So about there it feels like.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we can throw away which half we don't need, this half we don't need. So we do the same thing with this curve.
Yes.
Split with a point down here, about there and about there. Remembering just we're doing this kind of just to get the shape at the moment.
Yes.
Then this one has to come around here, which means the bottom end of this gets thrown away. So you split with a point.
Half, probably.
Yeah, about there. Yeah. So throw that, which means that this is not far enough over. We're going to do just there, something like that. Right, we're going to split this. Okay, so now we're going to do a blend curve. This goes from about here and it comes through to about there. So we're going to split with a point. About, looks like about there to about there.
Yes.
Okay, so throw away the bit we don't need. Whoops, wrong bit. We need to throw away that bit.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to blend curve.
Yeah.
So blend curve between the end of this curve and the beginning of that curve. It's not very nice. Let's try tangency. Sometimes you're just going to draw a curve. I'm going to just draw a curve and go that this goes from here to there. All right.
Yeah.
Then it comes around, and then this goes from here to here. I'm just I'm going to join these up, and then we're going to edit them a little bit. So this goes to here, then this comes around. I feel like these two are not going to reach each other at this point, so I'm going to go, this goes from here to here, and this goes from here to here, and I'm going to join them. I'm going to join these ones. Okay, now let's show our gems, but lock the gems so we can't use them.
Yes.
All right, so this is our inside curve. So it's tracking okay here. We need an outside curve that's going to come around it. It needs to come up to where this curve is. All right.
Yeah.
So we kind of got a guideline. I think that I did this the most hard, difficult way I could. I could have probably done this a lot easier. All right. So let's start on one end. This end is our inside curve. So we need another curve that goes around the outside of it. So take you. And let's bring you in, something like that. Then you've got to come out. So I'm going to bring you there. All right. Is that right? Then all of these guys are going to come in because remember we've got the bottom of the shank. This is one side of the shank that we're working with at the moment. All right.
Yes.
The other side of the shank is coming up here. It's got to go around and come through.
Yeah.
So let's take another interp curve. I'm snapping to the end of this and I'm drawing it out because I'm going to move it out.
Yes.
All right. Over there. Then we want to kind of come around here. then we're going to come through to the inside of this curve here. All right, so we're going to sit and trace this through, or we could have found, I've probably gone like the worst possible way I could for this drawing. So I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to say fuck all the, I'm going to say screw all those circles, and I'm going to do it the better way. So I'm going to take this, unlock them. I should have just drawn this by hand. So I'm going to go that one a little bit that way, this one a little bit this way. All right. I'm going to start with a new interp curve, and I'm going to go center. All right. So I'm going to draw. Now, in my mind's eye, I'm working on the center because I'm going to offset both sides. So I'm going to just manually draw this through here.
Yeah.
Which is probably the way I should have done it in the first place. It's good for you to learn.
More, yeah. At least I reviewed.
It's easy to go the wrong way.
Yeah.
All right. And I've picked the wrong sort of curve to draw with in the first place.
Okay.
All right. So you know that I always said I love this one. That's the one I should have worked with.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at. Let's examine that. Let's leave this curve in place.
Yes.
Right, or let's just move it out the way for now. See how wobbly it looks?
Yes.
If you pick this curve, the proper interp curve, this one.
Yes.
And we start this again. You'll see that you get a much nicer.
Smooth?
Yeah, smoother.
And less point as well.
And less points. So I think the lesson you're taking away from today is there's so many different ways to do this. I tried with circles to keep it nice and even, but for sure that didn't work out well for me. So we're going to finish there, roughly.
Yeah.
Oops. Right, so let's smooth this out. I'm going to use the fair command. Whoa. Use the fair command again and set the tolerance to 0.1. Enter a few times. There we go. All right, then let's tweak it till we get exactly the shape we need. Something like that. Something like that. This needs to come in a little bit and down a little bit. That needs to come out a little bit. Let's move this thing somewhere where we can see it, and we just really want the top. So I just want to make sure we can follow the shape nicely. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we can see what we're doing. All right, so you see this kind of looks lumpy here, so I want to bring those 2 points in a bit there. Bring this in a bit here. And this is going to be the center. This is not, we've got to offset this on both ends. All right?
Yes.
So you can't make it too far away from the big stone here. It's going to be too fat. This looks like it has to come in a bit there. And remember the lesson from yesterday? You can never be too careful with your input curves. Make them perfect before you start.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's pull that down like that. It's got a good flow there. It's got a good flow there. Those two look like they need to come in a little bit there. That one a little bit there. All right. This gets too fat out here. Kind of feel like we're there now. I'm going to bring that in a little bit. Actually, those got to come a little bit closer, and that one's got to come a little bit closer. Then I think we're there. All right, so we've got this nice, I can see straight away that's not okay. All right, so we've got this nice, every time I say that, I find a thing I don't like. All right, so that's the beauty of design.
Okay.
Okay, so we now got this flat curve starting from the end of the length.
Yes.
And you see that using an interp curve. See how this is super lumpy?
Yes.
And there's tons of points?
Yes.
I used the wrong curve.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, and I can see over here now, this is a lot closer than it is there, so I'm either going to bring this out a little bit, or bring that in a little bit. I'm going to bring that in a little bit. All right, now we're going to offset, because we need a curve both sides of this. So we use offset, I'm going to use through point, and I'm going to use both sides.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of pull it in until the inside one is inside the edge of the stones. Can You see what I mean on the inside of this? Yeah. So slightly in like that.
Yes.
Because the setter has to set this. And
yes.
I think I'm happy there. All right. So we have mostly everything we need right now.
Yes.
You still have history, which means that if I change this, the offset changes.
Yeah.
So we can play with the middle curve now and change it until we feel like the setting is good. I think that looks even. That looks even.
Yeah.
This is too far in.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to play with the inset on these. So let's delete the middle curve. We no longer need it.
Yes.
These curves, you've got a ton of points because the offset command does that.
Yeah, rebuild.
All right. You can, the easy way to do it is you can fit curve.
Fit curve.
Fit curve will fit a curve to within a tolerance level. So I'll show you what it means on there.
Fit curve.
So remove the number of points, as many as you can, but keep the curve within 0.1 millimeters of the original. So you'll see what I mean. So just press enter.
Yes.
And you can see that 0.1 wasn't enough. It deleted a lot of fucking points, right?
Yes.
However, I mean, that said, the other way to try this would be go to rebuild.
Yes.
And you just up your numbers until you got minimum variation. So let's have a look. You can see the new curve.
Yes.
Preview. Go up a few, go up a few, go up a few. So right now you're starting to have more and more points to try and, so fit curve actually was a better result. It doesn't really matter in this case. So let's see, I think at 34 points, I'd still have a lot of work to try even this out, but let's go okay, let's grab that one and rebuild it as well to 34 points, okay.
Yeah.
Let's tweak the two lots of curves. So this one, we said we're okay, we pretty much all right, there's enough to set with, we come around here, we come in, all right, so this one over here, too much in, so we're gonna pull it out a bit.
Yeah.
Same with this point, pull it out a bit here, same with this one, and we're gonna pull it out there a little bit, and we're going to try and come in the same amount of material for the setter.
Yeah.
This one here, same deal. Too much, too much, too much. All right, then this, I think pretty much we got lucky and we hit it in one go. All right. So I feel like we're okay here. This one, we need to get the shank a little bit fatter out. So remember, you can delete points you don't need.
Yes.
So I'm going to delete every second point here because I just feel like it's too many. In fact, I can delete that point too, and I can delete that point. So I'm going to grab these points.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull them down to give me a more or less even looking shank on the bottom. So what I'm doing over here is I want the bottom to be even across the center axis of our ring. So you can see this is like really lumpy here. I'm going to dump that point. Dump, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we smooth here. All right, so I'm going to grab that one, I'm going to bring you two in. All right, so how thick do we want the bottom of the shank to be? I reckon that's about 2 millimeters.
Okay.
Oh, let's draw a line.
Yeah.
From the end point here, shift tab, and type 1. So that's 1 millimeter width.
Yes.
Let's take this, mirror it over here to there. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we know what we have to snap this point onto.
Okay.
So snap that point there. And the end of this curve I need to snap over there. And then these guys I can delete a couple of points in between, delete a couple of points in between. So now we're looking good. So we no longer need that sacrificial curve, we can delete it.
Yes.
So I'm happy with this side of the shank now. I feel like it's flowing in. I think that it's heavy. The whole thing feels heavy to me.
Yes.
So I'd like to start working on bringing these points in. Just a little bit, and that point out just a little bit. If I look at this over here,
this part is thinner.
We're going to fix that up now. All right, so these here need to come in, and that needs to come in like that. And then so I just want to thin it off a little bit. Now be aware that when we do this flow, you're going to have to come in here and fix this, because when we flow it, we don't want to bend the stones, but we are going to bend the shank. When you do the flow, it's going to distort. You'll see what I mean when we do it. Let's bring you in. Let's bring you in. And I feel like we can delete a couple of these points as well, actually. All right, so this is design. You're gonna keep going until you feel, you know, that it looks right.
Yeah,
so
I
this
got it.
looks okay here. They kind of match each other. The thickness looks okay. I think that has to move in a little bit there.
Yeah.
That has to move in a little bit there. And I think we can actually delete that pointer. Bring this one over and get a nice smoother transition. All right, so we've got this, we've got that. This needs to come in a little bit on these 2 points here. So a nice flow happening there. You need to come in a bit there. Okay, we get slightly thicker because we've got a bigger stone, and we get thicker coming through to this one.
Yeah.
All right, let's imagine that's what we want. Okay.
Yes.
So right now we're going to do a flow. We're going to put a profile on this. Luckily, it's a very easy profile. It's
Yes.
just flat with a D shape on the top.
Yes.
And then we're going to flow it over to this curve and have a look. The
Yes.
second component we need is this. I'm going to grab these 2 curves. I'm going to mirror them. Oops, I'm going to mirror them over the mid of this curve, wherever it is. Doesn't really matter. Let's find anywhere. Where's the mid of that curve? Let's turn our stones off. Where's the mid of this curve? There we go. Because I want to match the shank on the opposite side.
Yes.
All right. So with these 2 curves, I want to delete all the points up to about here. All right. And maybe even those 2 points. All right. So we now know that this end and this end will match up exactly with this end and this end. When we do the flow, these 2 things are going to meet each other.
Yes.
Now I feel like that's not okay there, and that's not okay there. I feel like that could be better. All right, so we're also going to close this one off. Actually, we're going to be doing the flow for this, so it doesn't really matter. So that curve we can now delete. All right, so we have everything we need. We know that it all fits. It's time to start looking at our flow and looking at our profiles that have to go on the ring. So let's show our gems. Okay, so the first thing we do is we're going to do a flow without breaking the gems and see where they end up. All right. All of these gems, we learned a new command yesterday called align. So I want to align all these gems, the top of all the gems, to each other. So when I bring them down now, they're going to be, if I said that this is the bottom of the ring over there, we're good to go. All of them are the same height from each other.
Okay.
So the top of this ring will taper down a little bit. So we can take these ones here and move them all down just a squidgen. This one should go down just a little bit. And then this should go down just a little bit. And then this one should go down just a little bit to make the ring. So that's roughly the heights we've got, all right?
Okay.
So we take these now and let's do the flow. Right,
yes.
So we've got our target curve. We want this to be the bottom. Where's our seam? Let's look for the curve seam. So curve seam. It's currently on the side. I want to move that curve seam to the bottom. Okay?
Yes.
Because I want to flow in the same direction. So let's go. All you gems, flow. Now look at the command line. All right? Rigid is yes.
Rigid,
otherwise it's going to bend the stones. Let me turn that off and do it. So we're going to flow from this curve. I can't select it because it's locked. Unlock. So I'm going to grab those gems.
Yes.
I'm going to flow them
yes.
from this curve to this curve. Select the bottom.
Yeah.
See what it did to the gems?
Yes.
They all bent.
They do.
Which we don't want. Right.
Okay.
So we're going to do a flow, and we're going to tick
yes.
rigid equals yes.
Yes.
All right. Then we're going to go from this curve.
Yes.
Oops, that curve to this curve.
Yes.
Oops, I selected the wrong side. We're going to flow from this curve to this curve. Remember, the bottom of the curve seam is here. We want to flow to this side of it. Okay. So there's the layout of the stones. You can already see that that's not good. Those stones are way too far away from each other.
Yes.
But you have history. So for now, just leave them where they are. Okay. What I mean by you have history is you can move this one in and it will move up, and you can actually see by the time you flow, they're all over the show, right?
Yeah.
So the next one we want to do is we want to have a look at flowing we want to flow a shape across here. So I'm going to draw a rectangle.
Yes.
Oh, I'm in the wrong view. I need to be in this view. All right, and the rectangle has to be about that big. All right, so let's go inside here. You 2 points. Let's move you from there to there, and then the top 2 points. Let me just turn the gems off at the moment. So those top 2 points, let's bring you down. So that'd be like the bottom of the shank area, about say 1.5 thick. I'm going to draw a little arc on the top of that. There to there. Whoa, shift. And I'm going to trim these. Get rid of that. Enter and join. So now I have my first profile.
Yes.
I need a profile at the end here, so I'm going to orient. I'm going to grab this profile.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to use the orient command.
Yes.
Because I want to move it from there and there.
Yes.
One is this side to here and here. Oops, I need scale is yes and copy is yes. My bad. And copy is yes. And I want to snap it onto here.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I've copied the profile in the correct orientation, but up here, this profile needs to be bigger. So I'm going to go in the side view, and grab those top points, and pull it up taller. Now let's show our gems. Yep, so it's about the right height to be setting the gem.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do a sweep. I'm going to do a sweep 2.
Yes.
So you and you. Sweep 2 from this profile to this profile.
Yeah.
Let's see if whoa, maintain height. Okay, so we've inverted the profile, so we've got to be careful. Where is our little arrow? Escape. Do it again. From you to you. Okay, let's check our profile. Just remember we said in the very first lesson.
Yeah.
Get it.
Same direction.
Get it. Put it on the bottom. Make the same direction. Get it over here. Put it on the bottom. Still wrong, so I'm going to change the direction of that from you to you. You in the middle are facing that way, and you are in the middle facing the wrong way. So we click the arrow to face the right way. Maintain height. Still got it wrong. Still inverted. Ready? Let's go the other way. So you and you. Sweep from you to you. So this time we've got this facing in that direction, and we've got this facing in that direction. Maybe we need more profiles. Oh, seems like it worked this time. All right, so maintain height. So this is the first time you're going to learn about add slash. So if you look at this in the top view, it's tried to make this profile fit along here, but it's squished it around a couple of places. So adding slash is the same as saying I made another profile at this point, and then this point, and then this point. I like to do it perpendicular to the stone, so I'm going to click on add slash.
Yes.
I'm going to add a slash perpendicular to the stone there. You see that the profile points have evened each other out. I think that that needs to actually be in that direction there. Then for this one, we need to be here.
Yes.
And then you don't have to make all those profiles. Rhino will kind of help you sort it out. This over here has to be there for sure. All right, then this has to be about here. And that should be kind of like that. Okay, then I'm good with that. All right, they kind of look the way I want it to look. Okay, so now you've got your next problem. When we flow this, it's not going to match the gems.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to cap this because I don't want to break the flow. If I put a cap on this right now, it's going to break the history for the sweep.
Yeah.
So we're going to grab this guy and we'll do the same thing. We're going to go flow.
Yes.
From this curve, wherever it is, there it is, to this curve here. Why did that happen? I still had rigid on. In this case, I don't want rigid, I actually do want it to flow. All right, so we have the beginning of what we want.
Okay.
Right, we can start to see where things are, but because we have history on this flow, we now have the advantage of we can play with this flow a little bit. So you can see that it stretched it out way too far.
Yes, it does.
All right, so I'm going to take this flow, I'm going to put our viewport in wireframe mode so I can see everything. So we're going to take this sweep and I'm going to compress it. You can see that it's stretched it out in this distance. So
Yes.
I'm going to scale it backwards. So I'm going to scale 1D
Yes.
from that end of that curve there, say to that end of the curve there, and I'm going to scale it inwards like this.
Yes.
And then watch what happens to our flow. All right, we broke the sweep history, but we didn't break this history. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go back from there and scale it back in a little bit like that. This is starting to look more like what I want.
Yes.
All right, so now let's start moving our stones around so they fit.
Yes.
So, in fact, I wouldn't mind moving all of this a little bit closer because I've done this really poorly. Let's go shaded. Let's move that over. I'm not looking up here. I'm looking down here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking down here where that stone is. That looks about right to me.
Yes.
Then I'm going to grab the next stone.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not looking at the top one. I'm looking at the bottom one.
Yes.
All right. So are we here? Let's move over a little bit.
Yes.
And you, same thing. Let's move this one out the way for now because it's making things look a bit confused. All right. So this is fairly organic. You can kind of see where we're getting to here. I'm not quite happy with that flow. I think it could have been a little bit tighter. So let's get the next one in there. So we've got two different flows happening here. We've got the rigid flow, keeping the stones
not bended.
not bended.
Yes.
So, and then you've got the other one, which is not the rigid flow. So this one we're going to move back a little bit over here.
Yes.
This stone we're going to move up a little bit there. And it also doesn't look set. It looks like it's not in enough, so we're going to bring it down.
Yeah.
In. So at this point, you're close enough to say that these two things are now relative to each other. So if we have a look at how we drew this, you can see it looks kind of squished here. Can you see that?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I'm going to grab this entire thing and I'm going to scale it just out a little bit like that. And now we're looking a bit more round.
Okay.
All right. So there's your first surface kind of sorted out for you. That would have been a complicated surface to draw any other way.
Yeah.
Right? So now we can look at, let's flow over, and again we're going to need rigid. You can't see it here, or you can kind of see it over there. You can see there's a prong coming out, holding that stone.
Yes.
See over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have the same thing coming out from under here. And to be safe, you'd have an under bezel underneath it. All right. So our next flow is, I'm going to just steal this. I'm going to steal this curve that we got here somewhere. So where are you? There you go. Okay, so let's hide this for now. And I'm going to steal this profile and take you. I'm going to orient with copy, yes, and scale 3D from you to you, and you to you, and you to, actually, this time I want to steal this one directly. So I'm going to orient you from there to there, and we know that because these two are exactly the same distance apart, we're going to have the profiles exactly the same when we do the sweep. This one we're going to make scale it a little bit smaller. I'm going to grab those top points and bring them down because it has to be a little bit lower than this edge we have over here.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to do a sweep 2 again. So you and you. Sweep 2 from you to you. The sweep's going to be a little bit easier with less mistakes.
Yes.
Easier to see what we're doing. Okay, and we got that, and we're good. All right, so we're going to do the same flow now.
Okay.
So again, we're going to flow this, except we're going to flow it on this time. So we're going to grab this guy, we're going to flow. Rigid, no. So we're right, we're going to flow it from this edge of this curve to this edge of this curve this time.
Yeah.
Okay, same deal, because we scaled those backwards, we now need to scale this forward. So I can control shift this edge here, control shift, and let's move it forward. Okay, and let's keep moving it forward until we're in there. A little bit more to go. So the magic of flow and history. If you didn't have history, you'd been drawing these curves and working your ass off to produce this ring.
Yeah.
All right, so I feel like we're close enough now to start doing the last little bits. Just come in here and double check. You can see that we're a little bit off. Something got moved. All right, we'll fix that up in a second. It just means that these two profiles are not exactly over each other. So, all right, so you can zoom in over here. We make sure, because remember we still got history. Snap these two profiles to exactly the same length. All right, so now Because we did a mirror. Anyway, so let's draw in the little section we need, the little prong we need. So there's a prong that comes in. This one doesn't need a prong because it's okay.
Okay,
It's
half
fully surrounded,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
This one does need, so these all need a prong. So they need
Yeah.
a prong from 90 degrees away. So on this profile, so we've got vertex snappers on. Vertex allows me to snap to a mesh. So
Yes.
I'm going to draw a curve from here. Let's just work in our top view. I'm just going to draw a little curve like this, and I'll show you what we're going to do in a second. I'm just trying to find the 90-degree mark on the, and one over here. Okay. So now in the side view, I can play with those curves. Right. It's hard to find the exact 90 degree in a side view. So with that one, I'm going to grab this end point and move it straight down to about there, and I'm going to rebuild the curve. 4 points, not 34, 4, thank you. Okay, and I'm going to move this point in, and move that point in, and move that point in, and we've got to move this point out. Okay, so that's going to make our kind of a prong, and we're going to move it straight up.
Yes.
All right, so I think that that's pretty much what we need there, except that this prong has to now, when we make it, it has to go all the way in to the metal. So let's show the metal. Okay, so you can see that that's never going to make it, so we're going to have to bring those points in. I might have to rebuild this a little bit more, give it maybe 6 points. Okay, and then we can grab the very bottom point, we can drag it straight in so it's touching the metal.
Yes.
This point we can bring in a little bit more and also a little bit up, and this point we bring a little bit up. And I think that probably we're there now. All right, so this over here I'm happy with. I want to take this exact same thing, I want to copy it over to there, and I want to copy it over to there with a rotation. All right, so I'm going to copy it, starting from that vertex point to this end or vertex point of this, and this end or vertex point of this. All right, so we've got those. I can delete the 2 sacrificial ones. Hold on. There it is. Right, this guy has to rotate 180 degrees around its end. Assuming that's its end. Where's its end? Where is your end? Where's your end there? Alright, so 180 degrees. Like that. And just to move out a little bit so it can be a prong. There we can. We're still touching. Yep, so a little bit tall. We can scale that smaller after the pipe. So then the same thing over here. Scale this guy in a little bit, bring it over a little bit to make our prong. Let's have a look if we're okay there. So I think we're good there, and we need to scale the height. So it's inside like that. Are we good? Height like that a little bit and up a little bit. Okay, so I was just cheating by stealing components from the first prong we made, so that kind of looks okay to me. Let's look at the next one. The next one we can see over here. Now you can see why you need layers, right? New layer, old curves. So let's take you and change object layer and turn it off for now. All right, so and then this needs to be scaled a little bit this way, and then moved up a little bit that way, and then that point can just come up into there. And I feel like we've got a problem over here. We're going to have to scale our stone a bit. There's no way the stone's going to live in the same space as that, which means we need to have this stone either a bit smaller, or the stone has to go a little bit higher. So I'm going to do that. All right, are we good there? I think that this has to scale in this way a little bit. All right, so we've got this one's good, this one's good. This one I think is good. We're going to have to play with that stone curvature a little bit again there. And that point has to go up a little bit. Okay, let's pipe. Alt key so I don't snap onto stuff. Okay, and then same here. And same here. Right, so these guys have got to flow with rigid. Now if you look at the original image, they're a little bit sideways, not quite so round. So I'm going to grab them in this view. The resurface. I'm going to scale it a little bit fat because actually, in fact, what's going to happen when you flow it, it is going to do this anyway.
Okay.
This one needs to be even fatter because the stone's a bit bigger. Like that.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that history warning is really annoying. Right, and that. Okay. So these guys we need to flow with rigid. Alright, so we're going to grab you, and you, and you. And we're going to flow.
Yeah.
You know what? Before I do that, I need to just hide this for now. And you, so we can see the curve. Okay, so you, and I need to hide that. And that. Alright, so you, and you, and you.
Flow.
Flow. This time I'm going to turn rigid back on. Alright, I'm going to flow from you to you.
Yes.
Wrong way. From you. You've got to remember this curved seam is here. We want to flow in this direction.
Okay,
I clicked it on the wrong side, so we're going to click this side.
Yes.
Alright, so we've got our prongs back. Let's show everything. Alright, so pretty much we are where we need to be.
Yes.
Okay.
That's so complicated, this one.
Not really.
So much adjustment.
Not really. So I feel like this is too high here. We're going to go in. We're going to look at this. All right. I'm going to hide that for now. Control Shift to grab that edge, and we're going to scale this. Grab this. See that? Always got to double check your selection. Let's work in a side view. One-dimensionally, we want to go downwards. So where's my snap? I want to bring it down. I think about there somewhere.
Yeah.
And you see the flow updated.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
better. I'm happy with that. And if I look at this, I feel like it's too fat on the finger there. But you know, for now, this has been a complicated lesson.
Yes.
So let's conclude this. So at this point, you can't cap this. Why can't you cap it?
Because it's not straight.
Because it's not straight.
Yes.
All right. However, you do know that you can still cap it while it's on the ground. So let's show everything.
Yes.
Once you cap this here, you're going to lose the history of the flow, of the sweep.
Okay.
Right? So we now know that this is laid out pretty much the way we want it. We're happy with the shape. We're happy with the curvatures. We're pretty good. We're ready to go.
Yes.
We're ready to throw history. So you make one layer. You go, I call it before history.
Yeah.
Before everything breaks.
Yes.
I grab everything. I can delete that. I grab everything and I copy it to this layer. So I copy all the objects to this layer, turn it off. Means if I want to go backwards, if I decide I didn't like it, I can change it.
I get it.
All right, so now we can cap, so we can delete this, we can delete this, we can cap this.
Yes.
All right, and we can cap this.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any problems. Now you can do the flow.
Okay.
Let's go to wireframe mode and take this, and we're going to flow it from this curve to this curve. Nah. Why'd that happen?
Because rigid
was on.
Okay. Yes.
Wrong way. I keep clicking the wrong side, my bad. Flow is a bit of a pain in the ass, so remember to click on the right side of the curve, right?
Yeah.
So then this one, same thing. Let's take you up, and we're going to flow. Hang on a minute, we didn't work out why we had a issue. So this is the issue we had because I scaled it. Remember the bottom didn't, before I do the flow, remember the bottom of the ring didn't match up 100%?
Yeah.
It's because we scaled this to make it round, to make it look round over here. But when we did that scale,
yes.
you see how this no longer matches the profile?
Yes.
So I'm going to take this guy, scale, hang on, I'm going to Control Shift. Ooh, this is going to be difficult to Control Shift. Control Shift U, and 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 we're going to scale 1D from the center point here to that end point there to into this end point here. Alright, so now those two match each other. When we do the flow, the bottoms will match.
Yes.
Alright,
okay.
So let's do the flow. From this curve. Oh God, that worked out spectacularly poorly for me. All right, so let's try that again. Flow from, remember when you select stuff, you can select curves that are there, right? So I've accidentally selected the profile curve before. We're going to flow from there.
Yeah.
Rigid is no, and we're going to flow onto this curve here. Okay. All right, so we're good. We're done. Now you've got to just shade it up.
Okay.
You've got to start playing with some fillets, make everything look nice.
That's fine.
And if you wanted to, you'd probably draw out a few toruses, put them underneath there for support. And now that you've got this up here, again, I'd save it out before history, because after you move these components like that, you can see it needs to move in a bit. Once you do this, you can get a warning, history broken. Means you can no longer adjust it here. So now your choices are, you adjust it here and have it update on the flow.
Yes.
All right, or you adjust it here and you break the history. Now you can see this stone is not okay. It's not inside there, so I want to grab both those components.
Yes.
And just start tweaking. So just play a little bit, bring that in there. Yep, I'm okay with that. That stone looks like it could be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to grab it, scale it up a bit. So it's in there, and then move a little bit that way. That way. All right. So let's start doing some sweeps. This over here looks like it could have been a lot fatter. So we'd have to go all the way back to our original sweep.
Yes.
And make this material a bit fatter. You know, although I guess depends on your view. This does look a bit thin here. All right, so that's the one way to do it. Tomorrow we'll get into doing this far faster using Crv2View.
Okay.
But you have the downside that you can't do this anymore. So Crv2View is a one-way street. You can never ever get back from it.
Okay.
All right, I'll save this out for you.
Thank you very much.
No.
This is a complicated one.
It's okay. You've got to learn how to do it all the different ways.
Yeah. I'll have to go back to the flow lesson again to review a little bit.
All right, I'll save this for you.
Thank you very much.
No worries.